Hey, what's up? I'm here at my local fish store with my wife, and it's getting crazy. We're about 6 months into this, but we've got some new residents that I just moved out of quarantine that are now in my display tank. They're awesome. I'm going to introduce them to you in just a second. But now my quarantine tank is empty. So there she is. There's my wife back there, and Alex is helping me out. We are getting some other new residents so that I can have something in quarantine again. I got a lot to share with you today, so stay tuned. Here it is, my saltwater aquarium. It's been quite a journey. I started this over half a year ago. I've had water in here for about 6 months, and then of course I added some fish and some corals, and just recently we added some new residents. This little guy right here, this cleaner wrasse, he's very cool. And then I've got 2 purple firefish. They're always together. They swim really cool. And then I got another guy. Oh, there he is down in there. I'll get a close-up of him. And he's a Falco hawkfish. And my daughter named him after Falcon, the Marvel superhero. So they've all got names. My daughter and my wife like to name all the fish. And you know, when I put him in here the other day, something really kind of cool was going on. I just had this imagination go. I drip acclimated them into a bucket to make sure they'd go in safe, and I put the bucket down in, and the 4 new fish swam out into the aquarium. And then my purple dotty back comes swimming right up to him right away. And it was kind of like, "Hi, I'm Dottie. Welcome to the aquarium." And so this little purple fish was coming in and checking them all out and swimming to each fish that just got there and kind of introducing herself. And in my mind, it was like I was watching Finding Nemo, and I heard all these voices, and then the other fish came out and it was like, "Oh, this looks pretty awesome. This is a lot nicer than the quarantine we were in." So it was kind of like that for me. And I just love to sit here and just watch the interactions and the different things that they do at night when the lights go dim. It's very rewarding. And like I've mentioned in other episodes, one of the best parts is my wife's really into it. So my wife's so into it that this episode's taking place around the 4th of July. And you know, during the 4th of July, everything's on sale. So my wife, she's on her phone and she's like, "Oh, we need to go to the fish store. They're having a sale." I'm like, "Okay, well, they're probably closed on the 4th. She's like, "Oh no, look, I just looked, they're open. We need to go there. Look at this coral, it's really cool. It's on sale." I'm like, "Yeah, it's like $4 off." But anyway, she was like, "Well, you know, we emptied out the quarantine, so now we can get some new fish." And she's right, you know, we can get some new fish now the quarantine's open. So off to the fish store we went. What's going on here? We got some,
You were with me.
I know, I help you pick them out. I love it too.
I think it's out too.
I just think it's cool that you're into it. We picked out 3 new fish and we got a new coral up here. I'll have to get a close-up of it and show you what it is. I forget what it's called. So let me tell you a little bit about my aquarium and where I'm at. So if you've been following along, we've been kind of chronicling every step of me being a guy who's never had a saltwater aquarium and all the things that you learn along the way. And for me, I chose a pretty large aquarium for my first aquarium because I had a 75-gallon freshwater tank that I've had for years, and it just seemed small, and I wanted it to really fit on this wall here in my office. I really think this was an appropriate size for this room. And you know, it was hard to choose a room in the house. And I chose my office because I like to spend a lot of time in here. It's kind of, even when I'm not working at my desk, it's just kind of a cozy room. It's not real big. So I chose this, and I chose this size tank, and I chose one with a sump. So all my filtration is down in the bottom. Now, I didn't even know what that was because my freshwater tank had an off-the-back filter. And it just, you know, you just change the little media filters in the back and it sucks water up, cleans it out, puts it back in. This is much more sophisticated. And since I've gotten it, I've added things like a skimmer, which is super cool. I had no idea that it makes these little micro bubbles and pulls the crud out. It's actually really disgusting to see that in a day or a couple days, all the brown crud you get out of there. And whatever it's doing, it's getting this stinky brown stuff from somewhere. And so I clean that out regularly down in the sump. Let me open this up. I've got the skimmer down there, and the one that I chose is the Quantum from Nios, and I got a matching media reactor. I actually have two media reactors. In this case right now I have just a carbon media reactor, and what I've noticed since I put this in is the water just really is crystal clear. And my wife, after having it running for maybe just a day, she's like, oh wow, our tank looks like they look in the fish store. So yeah, the water really looks beautiful. So that's really fun. The other thing that I've done recently that we haven't really talked about in previous episodes is I've added 2 lights. And we knew all along that I didn't quite have enough light. And we measured when Mark was here in town with his PAR meter, and we measured the light, and I kind of moved some of my corals so that they would be in the direct light. Oh, look at that little fish is right up front. He looks so awesome. Sorry, I get distracted. It's just so much fun. So yeah, I added 2 more lights, and the cutouts in these tops that come on these ProClear aquariums, they have a cutout already where you can pop it out and for your light, but they didn't really have it for this setup to have 4 of them clamped on the back. I had to improvise just a little up here to make them go like that. So I have these cool flex arms that are actually very sturdy, and I think it looks okay. I mean, it's not perfectly symmetric. You know, you see you've got those angles up here, but it doesn't really bother me too much. It really makes this look alive. Now, I haven't adjusted the lights for the video. These are the color of the lights that I have all the time, but you can adjust it on the app to make these a different color temperature. But right now, this is what Brian at SaltwaterAquarium.com recommended for these current USA lights that I have, that this is a good temperature for them and will really help my corals. Oh, look it. You can't see that either. Man, let me get a shot with my phone so you can see this. Oh, she already left. My little dory fish was coming through the rock. It looked really awesome. You know, and that's the other thing. I could just share with you just video of the aquarium. Unless you have yours at home, you know what I'm talking about. You can just sit here and look for hours. Now, I was pretty scared to do this hobby at first. One, it seemed really expensive, and I thought, I don't want to mess it up and start investing. I mean, the purchase of a big aquarium is a lot of money up front. And then I was like, you know, it just seems hard. And I will tell you, there is some maintenance involved if you're just getting into it, a newbie like me. But the one thing that I find that I do the most is just using the magnet scraper. And what it is on the outside, you have a magnet and then a scraper on the inside of the glass that just scrapes the algae and cleans the glass. I find that I do that. I would say I do it almost every day, because when I come in and I look down the side of the glass from here, I can see any little spot where algae is building up, and I clean it. But it's just super easy. I do it when I feed them. I feed the fish, and then I just clean the front and the 2 sides, and then I clean the back surface maybe once a week with the spongy type cleaner on the back. But yeah, I do it when I feed them, so it only takes another 2 minutes, and I feed them twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. I feed the fish, and yeah, so that's the maintenance I do. And then I clean my skimmer. I clean my skimmer, I would say 2 or 3 times a week. I probably don't need to do it that often because it's pretty big and it doesn't really fill up, but it's pretty stinky. I can't smell it in the room when I come in, but when I take it out to clean it and I'm carrying it, it's close to my face, ugh, that thing gets stinky. So I know it stinks, so I just clean it regularly. Let's see, water changes. You know, it's good to you want to keep this environment clean, so we do a lot of chemistry testing for your nitrates, your phosphate, your salinity level, all those things to kind of make sure that they're in a certain parameter to keep everything healthy. All of these things I'm talking about we've done episodes on. So if you're watching this, you can go back, look in the description below to find the playlist, and then go back and you can watch all these episodes. If you're just starting out, hopefully this will be a resource for you to come back and reference those episodes so you can see the steps. Let me just say, it's just not as scary as I originally thought. And the maintenance things that you do, they actually become fun. I don't know if I'd say fun. Therapeutic maybe is a better word. I really enjoy keeping my aquarium clean and just giving it some love, because then you sit down and right away you see the fruits of your labor. If you kick up some dust in the sand and it gets kind of cloudy in there and then it settles, and then you notice everything just looks a little cleaner. So you have a seat and you dim the lights in the room and you just sit and you look at it. It's so enjoyable. You know, I could go on and on about how much my wife and I are enjoying our saltwater aquarium, but I'm gonna save some for some future episodes. I wanna share with you every single fish I have in the aquarium, every single coral I have in the aquarium, and of course there's so much more for me to learn. I'm gonna get Mr. Saltwater Tank to come visit me here in Florida and talk about next steps. I know we're thinking about doing something with my auto top off because I'm refilling it like crazy. It's pretty small. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying the series. I hope you're learning something like I am. Keep watching and see you on the next one.